So what's up guys, welcome to Jacked in Ecom. Today I want to be going over with you a few tips and tricks that allowed me to rank my gig on the first page of Fiverr in a very short space of time. Within a few days and within the first week I actually had my first order. Now I've only been doing this for about 2 months now. As you can see, I've got some orders in the queue. I've had some orders in the past. So clearly something is working here. So let me jump into the buyer mode so I can show you exactly how to do this. So the first thing you need to consider is the algorithm and how the algorithm works. So if you want your gig to be found on page 1, you need to have your gig optimized for the Fiverr SEO. Now SEO is the search engine optimization. So for example, if I type in Amazon product research in here, which is actually the niche I first chose to do, you're gonna have a lot of gigs pop up and a lot of sellers, offering the services. And the way that the algorithm works is it picks out key phrases and keywords within the title and within the description to present that in front of the person searching for the service, which is of course the buyer. Now, Amazon product research. I'm gonna use that as an example. So let's check this one out. This is obviously a quite highly ranked seller. Now they have a lot of SEO, of course, within the description and within the title. Of course, you can see here Amazon product research, private label, FBA research, all which are relevant keywords. So let's jump in and actually start applying some of these techniques. So first of all, your gig title. You need to find a niche and niche it down. Okay, and essentially what that means is, and I'll show you with an example in relation to the gig that I actually put out and the one that started ranking. You need to niche it down. So Amazon product research. As you can see here, there is a lot of gigs offering Amazon product research. So that is a niche. But now, what I mean by niche it down is, and I'm going to use my gig as an example for this. So the tool I use for my Amazon product research is Jungle Scout, and it just analyzes all sorts of data, if you don't know already, for Amazon Marketplace in terms of search volumes, etc., etc. So that's exactly what I've done. Instead of just putting Amazon product research, what I have done is, there I am, there's my gig, is I've niched it down from just Amazon product research to a very specified version. It's almost a niche within a niche. Here's another one of my gigs, which I actually copied the content and the SEO for that, and as you can see, I'll show you in just a moment. Those gigs are also ranking. I've put this one, well actually all of these I've put out like literally two or 3 days ago, and they're already getting clicks, just because of the techniques I applied. So in relation to the techniques that I'm talking about, the gig title is the most important. So once you found your niche and niched it down, you need to find the top relevant keywords for the gig title. So if we go on to, let's simplify it a little bit and go on to Amazon product research once again. So here we go, Amazon product research. So for example, what you are looking for here, especially if you're just starting out, you're looking for the gigs that have minimal reviews, but they are actually in fact on the front page, because what that means is that they have done a lot of SEO, a lot of good SEO built into their gigs and their descriptions for them to be able to be presented on page 1 with little to no reviews. So they're clearly doing something right in terms of the SEO. So what I like to do is, when I started off, I extracted most of the information from one of these gigs that is ranking on page 1 and essentially ethically copied the content within it. So, for the title, we are going to jump straight in. So he says here, I will do Amazon product hunting and product research for FBA product launch. See how he's got product specified 3 times within this description. That's obviously a big factor helping him rank. So when you're ethically copying, or should I say copywriting a gig, you can take that as a basis. So you found your relevant keywords, and another way to find your relevant keywords actually is to go down and you can see the tags that this guy is using. So here we have Helium 10, Amazon Store, e-commerce, Jungle Scout, and product listing. So those are your tags. Those tags you are going to want to include within your descriptions. So let's ethically copy this. I will do Amazon product hunting and product research for FBA product launch. So let's make that a little bit bigger for you guys. So I will hunt, let's say, 4 products and conduct research for FBA product launch. Let's change that for your Amazon FBA store. Brilliant. So there's the title done. It's got enough relevance and enough keywords now, I believe, and we can just go with that. So another thing that you want to do is make it stand out from the crowd. So actually saying that, let's change this up a little bit. I will do expert hunting for products and conduct research for your Amazon FBA store. Now keep it short and snappy. That is something I like to do. Let me give you an example. Obviously this is a little bit long. You could probably condense that down a little bit. I'm not going to do it right now. However, let me give you an example of one of my gigs. So relatively simple and short title will be do expert Jungle Scout FBA product research, and that's actually my best performing gig. Like I said, it's only been out for about 2 months or so, like 31 orders in it. So that's performing well. So yeah, keep the title short and snappy is what you want to do, because people can't be bothered to read through all the details. If they click on your gig, if it's good enough and if it stands out, they will click it, and they can see all those details within the description. Now, another really important factor I've found is the metadata. Now, if you don't know what the metadata is, it's essentially all the little bits and bobs and all the categories and the industry, the platform, the language that your gig gets allocated to. Now, I watched the video before on YouTube, and some guy was actually saying put it into general, so or other, shall I say. And he started saying that by putting it into other, more people will see it, and you're going to get more clicks and more orders. Unfortunately, I have tried that, and as soon as I actually switched over to niching it down to the specific different categories, so for example, business, e-commerce management, and product research is obviously the metadata relevant to my gig, to my product research for Amazon. As soon as I actually done that and ticked e-commerce, ticked Amazon, and ticked the English language, my gig actually started performing significantly better than when I had it in the other a sort of general category for everyone to see, because not everyone that's looking on general, you know, is going to want product research. Some people want logo design, some people want copywriting, you know. So that's one important fact to consider: the metadata. Keep it specific. Keep it on the point. Don't try and stick it in the other, because you know you're gonna have a lot of more impressions, but then they're not gonna convert. So I'm swiftly moving on. So within the keywords and the descriptions, now that we have our title, we're going to move on to the keywords and descriptions. So within the keywords and descriptions, you need to find your related tags. And what I mean by related tags are these bits here. You can usually find them. So if I switch back to selling for just a second here and go into Amazon product research. So you're going to see some tags. Let's take this guy here. So over here, you're going to scroll all the way down, and here we go. The related tags, and these are very important as well in relation to the SEO and the search engine, and how how it picks out your gigs and complementarily places them in front of the audience that is actually looking for your service. So these are some of the related tags. You can just click on any gig and you can scroll down. I would suggest going for the best performing gigs, but as you know, as long as they make sense within your niche and what you're trying to do, you should be okay. I'll try and go for the top performing ones. I'm under the impression that maybe they perform better because they're from a top seller. I'm not sure, but as long as they're relevant to your niche, then it should be fine. And this is a good way to start. So Amazon FBA, Amazon FBA product, Amazon product research, and Amazon private label. So those are all actually the related tags that this guy is using. So this is what we are going to do. Let's make this a tiny bit larger. There we go. So you want to incorporate those tags into not only the tag section. So when you're creating your gig, here's your tag section. Not only into the tag section, but you'll also want to incorporate those into your description. So check low ranking sellers on page 1. We've already gone through that. Ethically copy. So you want to include those tags within your description. So let's actually implement the two things: the ethically copying content and the meta tags all in one. This is what we're going to do now. So let's go on to Amazon product research, and let's have a look for someone with little to no reviews. This guy's got 5. This guy's got 2. This guy's got 6. All right, let's go for this guy. Messi 483. Let's go for this one. Let's see what he's got to offer. So right, brilliant. So straight away within his description, you can see Amazon wholesale FBA straight away. Keywords there. Wholesale FBA, another keyword there. Amazon wholesale. There you go. There's another one. FBA, Amazon. There's a lot of really good keywords there. Look, there you go. You got Keeper, you got Helium 10, you got Jungle Scout. Now, essentially, what you want to do is let's ethically copy this. Have we gone through all of this? Okay, so we've actually gone through this, and right. Hopefully, we have enough space here for you guys to see. All right, that's gonna be a little bit small actually. Hopefully you guys can see what's happening here. So you've got your tags there at the bottom. Hopefully it's large enough for you to make out what is going on. I'm going to make it a tiny little bit larger there. Let's make it 12. There we go. Right. So let's ethically copy this. So Amazon FBA product. Oh, it's in capitals. product research. Okay, so what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to include all of these tags. Oh, let's go back. You're wanting to include all of these tags within the description, but try not to oversaturate it, because if you're oversaturated, then Fiverr won't actually let you publish your gig. It will say, you know, you're using excessive amount of the word Amazon or Amazon FBA, and then you're just gonna have to change and delete some words anyway. So try not to use an excessive amount. So let's go back up. So congratulations, you're in the right place now. You're going to order the best service of an experienced person working for a wholesale FBA product research and supplier. All right, let's add some more tags in. Right place now. Okay, let's actually input that there. You're in the right place now for expert Amazon FBA product research. Okay, so there you go, you've mentioned it twice now. This last bit here includes the top keywords 2 to 3 times in the first sentence. That really helps increase your rankings, including it within the first sentence, because it's one of the first things that the Fiverr bots actually look at. You know, it's one of the first lines to read. So, you know what they say, first impressions count. And right, so I'll keep going to this slide. We're not on the images yet. So, where's these tags gone? Ooh, keep going. Right. Let me get back. Let me try and find these tags. Where are they gone? There they are. Right. Product research. Amazon FBA product. That's another one. So, Amazon FBA product research. FBA product research and supplier. We'll do product research for your Amazon wholesale business for already running amazing brands, and find you a killer Amazon FBA product that will make you 5,000 per month in revenue. So you get the basic idea. You're essentially just getting some tags, putting as many tags as you can in there within the description. When you're ethically copying, of course, try and rewrite as much of it as possible, but making sure that the key phrases and the key tags are actually intact. So if you were to change this ethically, I'd change small things like the product criteria I look into. So the brand is not selling. So small things like, is your brand not selling? Oh, I don't know why I just rewrote that. Is your brand not selling? Is your brand not selling? I will do an in-depth research and analysis to determine why this is true, or some stuff like that. You know, you're just changing the text around. You're not doing anything fancy, nothing. You know, it doesn't take a genius to do it. You're just rewriting the text and including as many tags as you can. Try and get different tags from different people. So you've got a few tags here that we just got. You can go back. I'm not sure how you go back. Let's look at a related gig instead. Okay, Amazon FBA product research for private label. Here's another one. You know, you're gonna get some more. Ideas here. Try and incorporate as many of them as you can into the description, but obviously without oversaturating it and making it look stupid. Like, you don't want Amazon FBA, Amazon product research. You know, follow. Obviously, it's got to make logical sense. But I hope you get the gist. So, next thing, let's go on to the images. So you want to be using catchy images. Sort of clickbaity images that you want to be using, because essentially you do want to essentially make your gig stand out from the crowd. You want it to be different. The fact is, when people go on the services, when they're going to logo design or Amazon product research, of course they look at the reviews, but you need a good image to make yourself stand out from the crowd and differentiate yourself from the crowd. Now, there's different ways to do this. I prefer not. I mean, it does actually look quite spammy as opposed to some of these other sellers, who sort of have their pictures more professional, like in suits and stuff, etc. And with basically some descriptions and stuff, and some of the services that they offer incorporated. I like to go for the bright colours. I like to look for a bit more sort of ad looking approach. I'm not too sure why, but it works. I've tried the professional looking approach, um, and uh, this gig with this image actually done the best out of all of them, because I actually done 10 gigs at not 10 gigs, so I say 7. I put out 7 gigs at the start when I started, and this one actually performed best out of all of them. And the descriptions were essentially the same, because I was doing what's called isolating variables. So I made all the descriptions and tags and everything in that sense the same, and I just changed the pictures just to see what the response will be over the next week or two, and let them run, see how many clicks I got on each one. And this is actually the one that performed the best. But whatever floats your boat, trial and error, whatever works for you. You should have a rough idea. But yeah, make your images stand out. You want them to be sort of as clickbaity as possible. You want it to be have that pow factor. So, for example, this one's really good. It uses the colours green, and it's very well written. It's got some nice product pictures there. You get the basic idea. Colours is another thing to consider, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing, for example, creative writing, I would suggest the color blue, because and then I would suggest actually using more professional pictures, because the color blue actually psychologically and emotionally puts the customer that's actually looking at your ad at ease, and it actually stimulates a sense of trust within the brain. But that's a story for another day. I won't go too much into that, but yeah, make the basic bottom line is make them as clickbaity as possible. Now you need to do that to increase obviously your click-through rate, which is your impressions to click ratio. Now, the reason why I wouldn't do that is because it boosts your rankings. Now, the more people that impressions is the amount of people that look at your gig. Now, your click-through rate is your impression to click ratio. So say, for example, this gig got presented 1,000 times within the search results, but only one person clicked it. Well, unfortunately, that's going to have a severe impact on the ranking of the gig. So that's actually going to get pushed all the way down, as opposed to, for example, if this one had 1,000 impressions and say 100 clicks. 100 clicks out of 1,000 impressions, it's a 10% click-through rate, which is a really good click-through rate, actually. So yes, the algorithm picks up on that and actually boosts your gig. So, and that's why the catchy images are really important, because you want a good click-through rate. The more people that click on it, out of the amount of people that see it, the more success you're going to have, and the more your gig is going to get driven to the top of the results. Now, this is quite an important one also, not just for ranking, but it can go a lot further than that. So name your images, and essentially this is SEO backlinks, and let me show you what I mean. So let's for example go on to Canva, and let's log in, and we are going to make a very quick image. Let me quickly log in. and we are going to make a very, very quick image just to show you what I mean. Custom dimensions are another thing to remember when you're making custom dimensions. Just check the Fiverr image dimensions. I believe it's 550 to 370, is that right? 550 to 370, well remembered. So 550 to 370. The reason why to do that is because, you know, if you've got something like 1000 by 100 pixels, obviously it's not going to look very good. The image is going to look squashed on the screen, and it's not going to take up and utilize the space within the box, you know, and you want the whole image to be presented within the box. So right, going back now. Going back to naming images and SEO backlinks. So let's really quickly create an image, and I will show you exactly what I mean. So go to the quick image. There you go. Some copywriting. There you go. Best copywriting. Let's put a pen there. Fantastic. Right. So now let's download that. And when you download this image, you want to go into your folder, you want to open it up, and you want to title it in relevance with with relevance to your gig or what service you're trying to do. So so copywriting. I've done this one for copywriting. So what you want to do is, once again, go back over here. Let's do copywriting. Let's find some copywriting tags. Copywriting, and what you want to do here is you want to find the relevant tags and then incorporate them into your image. I'm going to let you know exactly why that is, and this all relates back to your SEO and how your gig ranks. So let's have a look. So the Fiverr bots, not only Fiverr bots, but Google as well is really clever in the way that it's got little bots. It's got which basically scour the web and, you know, and take out bits of data and information from all aspects of what's online, whether it's your descriptions, etc., you know, what your images are called, and they rank that in terms of relevancy. So let's take a few of these tags. So essentially, that's why within, where's it gone now? Within your images, you want to add in some tags as well. So email marketing, copywriting. You could just simply, where are we? We could just simply add in your gig title, but I found, well, I haven't found actually. I'm just under the impression that putting a lot of tags in is a better way to do it, because you know, it's more points of relevance that the algorithm will pick up on. So that's what you want to do prior to uploading your images onto Fiverr in the gallery. Just make sure you rename them. That's important because it all adds up to the relevancy and the SEO of the for the Fiverr algorithm. So backlinks, SEO backlinks. There is other ways to actually backlink your actual gig to the Fiverr site directly, and, you know, to actually have your gig shown on Google as well. So if people are actively looking for example, product research or logo design, then with enough backlinks you can actually get shown on the first page of Google. So let me show what I actually mean. So Amazon product research, Jungle Scout, Fiverr. Now notice I'm putting in Fiverr, of course. Let's have a look. There I am. So I'm actually on Google. Now the main goal with these backlinks is to actually have your gig shown without, you know, without Fiverr being there. Let's check if that works. Maybe not. maybe somewhere down here. No, but yeah, that's essentially the main goal, to have that shown by just the title of your gig, and that can drive traffic and make you sales in the long run, depending on what you're doing. But it also helps the Fiverr algorithm rank your gig. Now I'm going to do a whole course on that, whole free course. It's actually going to be the next video I make. So stay tuned in. You can check back in like a week or two or whatever, and that should be up. Now, swiftly moving on, let's go into the Gig Favorites Exchange. Now, Gig Favorite Exchange, essentially what this is a collective group of people who actually help each other to rank on Fiverr and actually get more sales. So here are some examples. Feel free to pause the video and check some of these out, and and request to join them. Some of them ask you a few simple questions and stuff. Just answer them. Whilst you're on this video, just pause it, do that, and hopefully in the next few hours they would have approved you. If not, over the next few minutes or whatever. And what this offers is it's especially good for new sellers, and it offers clicks, favorites, and reviews for your gig. So the way it works is you go into here and you go Fiverr Exchange, Fiverr, shall I say Gig Exchange. So look, here's one of the ones that you just saw. Fiverr Gig Exchange, Gig Favorite Exchange. And essentially what you have here is you have a lot of people that post the gigs, and what usually works on like a like for like, or or a favorite sort of basis. So when you go onto here, you post your gig into the top. You say, let's gig exchange, or something like that, and then you just get your gig URL, you copy and paste it, and there you go. Your gig will now be there. And what people will do is they'll comment, and what they'll do is they'll check out the gig and they'll save it to their favorites, and it will essentially tell the Fiverr algorithm people are loving this gig. They're really liking the content, they're saving it, they're clicking on it, and it will just move your rankings. But it can actually have a lot. You can actually do a lot more with the Gig Fiverr Exchange as well. Obviously, there's a lot of like-minded people that sort of that you can ask to do to exchange reviews with, etc., all of that. So it's not just the favorites in the exchange, but you can also exchange reviews with each other to also help your gig rank. So check it out by all means. There's a few of them here. Usually want to go for the ones that have more than 20 posts a day. That's why I've allocated this free to the video, because if there's not enough people on there, posting, then you're not going to get much interaction. So yeah, make sure the group has at least 20 posts a day, and yeah, you can essentially help each other out. That's what them sort of things are for. But you can also ask questions and stuff. If you're not sure about something, you can post in there, and talk about anything Fiverr related. Right. Next sort of point to consider: being active. Now, this is one of the actually most important factors that you'll encounter. So if you haven't already, download the Fiverr app if you're a new seller. And what that does is it allows you to get notifications from when people message you, inquiring about your gigs or services when you're on the go, and you can just simply, you'd have to wait till you get back to your computer to be able to answer them. And what that does is it tells Fiverr, like, this guy's active, like that. He's online. He's ready to give out his services, and essentially what that does is it drives your whole sort of your whole seller account into a more favourable level, whether it's, driving. It doesn't necessarily drive the gigs, but it gives you more opportunities in terms of buyer requests, and it just tells Fiverr you're active, which comes with a lot of benefits. And so the next thing after that is send a buyer request. This is so important, especially if you're starting up. Now, buyer requests, and let me show you how this is done. Let's switch this to selling. Buyer request. So once you're in your hub, you go on to more and you click buyer request. Now, if you're starting, you're not actually gonna have a lot of buyer requests. You're probably only gonna have about 10 or up to 10, shall I say? Usually it's a lot lower than that. But what I would suggest is on your first few days, no matter whether the requests are relevant to you or not, send out your gig. So say for example you're doing logo design, send out, I will design your logo to this guy, send offer. And it doesn't matter what they're asking for. Because you can get some sales out of there, obviously, if they're looking for your specific service. But even if they're not, send out the request, because once again, what that does is it tells Fiverr that you are active. You're actively sending out requests, and you'll get a lot of benefits from that in the long run. It will help you rank your account a lot quicker. So yeah, go into the gig you want to offer, whatever it may be, and just say, I will do your blah 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 product research or whatever. Then just send that, and I would suggest that sending out all 10 every day. Just copy and paste the same thing into 10 offers every single day. Use up your whole your 10 requests as a beginner every single day, because it will help you immensely. Now, keeping at least 3 orders in the queue. This is interesting. Now, keeping 3 orders in the queue, you want to go onto here. Let's switch back to buying, and let's have a look. Let's have a look at this guy here. He's usually got a lot of orders in the queue, actually. Oh, he's only got 1 this time. Crikey. What's happened? Maybe he's taking a little holiday. So, right, with this one, he's got 1 order in the queue. You always want a few orders in the queue, because not only is it social proof for the buyers, when they check out your gig, they're like, oh wow, order in the queue, nice. This guy's active, he's actively doing orders. But it also tells Fiverr, this guy, he's got orders in the queue. He's active. Let's perhaps move his gig up and get him some more business. So what I like to do is I always like to have 3 orders in the queue. So Amazon Jungle Scout Research. Let's have a look at this one. There we go. Right, so I've got 4 orders in the queue, and I'll try and keep them in the queue for as long as possible, just to help with the ranking. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't have any orders, what I would suggest is get one of your friends, maybe your mum, your dad, I don't know, your friends or whatever, just to make a Fiverr account. It takes 5 minutes, and just to place a $5 order. Obviously, all of that money is going to be coming back to you, apart from 20%, which is what, $1. So if you keep 3 orders in a queue, just get a few of your friends to do that, or even get one of your friends to place 3 orders all at once through 1 gig, and you're essentially going to be paying $3, for social proof and for helping your gig actually rank. So keep that in mind. Now, when you're starting out, create 7 gigs. This is so important. Create 7 gigs. Oh, what am I doing here? And that's the amount that Fiverr will allow you to create. Now, I'm allowed a little bit more now. I'm allowed to create 10 gigs because I've just reached the level 1 seller status, almost at level 2 now. Happy days. But yeah, you want to put as many out there as possible, and like I said, you want to isolate variables. Now, for example, the reason why you want to do that is because you want as much chance as possible. Now, at the start, I wouldn't necessarily say isolating variables. Maybe that's not the best way to do it. At the start, I would, copy as many, so Amazon, as many sort of gigs as possible. Try as many different images as possible, and just just go crazy with it. Go wild, but just make sure you got 7 gigs out there. So you can take inspiration from this one, for example. You can take the description, maybe use someone else's, idea of an image layout or whatever. But create 7 gigs, because that will give you the best chance and possibility of getting orders, and it will show you what sort of things work well. You can check back after a few days or a week or so, and check back to this point here. If it's even here, this point here, check back into the click ratio, the CTR. Look how many impressions the gig's getting, whether people are clicking on them, and the more things you try to start, and the more gigs that you got active, the more chance you got on succeeding. When I first started about 2 months ago, I had, I put out 7 gigs over the first week. Obviously, I got lucky with one of them, but most of them failed, and I cleared them all out. At the end of the first month, I actually cleared them all out, and I only kept this gig actually running, because it was the only one that was performing. But these are the ones I put out literally. I'm not kidding. Like 2 days ago, and right off the bat, I'm getting 6 clicks on that one of 600 impressions, which isn't too bad. I'm getting 3 on this one of 100 impressions, 4 on this one, and that's all because I found a way to narrow down and extract content and create relevancy through the SEO that I talked about, and which has enabled me to actually start getting clicks on my gigs within the first 2-3 days of them actually being up. So with all of that in mind, I believe that is all the tips I have time for today. Do check back into the channel in about a week or week or two. I'm actually gonna do a video on specifically specifically on SEO and backlinks, and these will be on external backlinks, and this will actually help your gig rank even more, and try and achieve it actually being seen on and presented on Google search results. But I'll do a whole course on that probably next week or the week after. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you found some value in this video, and I'll see you next time.